I have a simple question for you. Is the rules in the Pokemon anime different than the games? Or could it be the same?
Okay, but first, what are we even arguing about?
Okay, without getting mad in the comments, before watching this video, I'm curious what your take on it is. It's a surprisingly controversial topic, despite the straightforwardness of the question. Many have argued their points, but one must always realize that everything is subjective and each to their own, right? So that's why I'm going to give the definitive answer, and I will be deleting any comments that say otherwise, so don't even bother.
Didn't you just say—
Curious what your take on it is. Be quiet and let's get started. So let's say you think, oh, I don't know, the anime doesn't follow the game's logic. Well, you'd have a pretty strong case. After all, the anime has no need to. It takes its own creative liberties for whatever story it wants to tell. Whether that be more flashy moves and strategies, or plain random thunder armor, that they want to pull out of nowhere, many argue, understandably so, that such events are a bit, well, out of nowhere? I mean, if the games introduced such a feature, okay, why not? But since they didn't, it doesn't make sense, right? Well, that assumes that the anime follows the games. But if they didn't, then there would be no problem. So how do we know definitively? Because no one gets upset at how often Pokemon in the anime dodge an attack, or the other anime-only strategies that can't be conveyed in the turn-based RPG. So where does the line get drawn between the anime following the game rules and not? At what point do we say the writers got lazy, or do we not say that at all since they don't follow the rules of the games? Hey, non-existent assistant, what are you doing? You don't get to decide where the line is drawn. Well, all this back and forth isn't going to get us anywhere fast, so let's take this a bit more slowly, because that'll take us there more fastly. Don't question my logic. The other obvious point would be that the anime obviously has to take after the games, given types, moves, etc. being the same. I personally don't think it's such a strong point, given that there's always room for differences when it comes to everything. It isn't a because it takes after this, it takes after everything kind of situation. At least that's what I think.
Why can you draw the line there?
Ignoring my non-existent assistant, the biggest claim though, of those who believe it's a one-to-one adaptation, is from episode 9 of the original anime. Yeah, we're going back that far, where one of the characters states that Pokemon learn moves at certain levels, which reflects the games. Now that we've set up the arguments, let us look at some of the biggest sources of debate between fans. Ash versus Snivy. I'm sure you've heard it a million times over before. Pikachu lost to a level 5 Snivy, which is the source of many theories that have spanned generations. Not really, but it sounds better that way. And those theories consist of things like a reset for Pikachu with every season, or Unova being a franchise reset of sorts. Especially the last theory, given Ash losing a lot more battles this season, and other things from the games that hint at it. But wait, if they follow the games and they did a reset and then the anime did a reset, then that means that they are following the game. We're not going there. But if you think about it, this entire Ash versus Snivy contemplation is based on the precept that levels are for sure established in the anime. Which it was, right? We discussed it earlier. The fact that they couldn't have said it more clearly should be more than enough proof for the anime to follow the game's logic, right? Well, here's where I have to break the truth. It's not an entertaining truth, and it's not the one that encourages more speculation. It just seems like the most reasonable answer. In my opinion, of course. The line of Pidgey's levels was still in the very beginning of the anime, and it may have not been intended in the first place, but rather just a random trivia provided, since technically they are there to advertise the games. But things have changed, and they quickly must have realized that they would much prefer to have their own creative liberties with their works. This means they choose how closely they want to follow the games, in order to make the anime as interesting and engaging as possible, following, but not limited to, the rules of them. But what about Pikachu losing to Snivy? This monumental event that shocked Pokemon fans all over the world. How can we explain it? What am I even doing? Okay, on a serious note, you don't need to apply, oh, Ash resets every season. Rather, it just makes sense if the creators always need to have someone giving Ash a challenge, because it plain wouldn't be interesting otherwise. Listen, I warned you guys that my answer would not be satisfying in the slightest. It takes out all of the room for speculation because the creators of the anime could just do whatever they want. Not like it applies as much today, given Ash having taken the backseat and new characters taking the spotlight, so they're anyways having to grow and we don't need yet to level reset, but in any case, have a wonderful day. Okay, thanks, bye.